Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to this national webinar on prototype validation and converting prototypes organized by the Institution's Innovation Council of Dempe College of Arts and Science, Miramar, Goa. The institution's Innovation Council of the college, with a very efficient team of faculty and students, have been organizing various events relating to innovation, startup, entrepreneurship, and prototype validation. Amidst the pandemic, the Institution Innovation Council has taken the initiative to continue the spirit of innovation and set up a positive mindset amongst the faculty and student. I take this privilege to introduce the guest speaker on this occasion. Mr. Carlin Angelino de Souza, more popularly known as Mr. Carl de Souza. Mr. de Souza holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Padre Conceição College of Engineering at Verna. He has previously worked as a graduate trainee at Bosch GmbH Packaging Division and has successfully implemented study in process planning at the Materials Department. Presently, Mr. de Souza is the director at Carl Real Estate Private Limited, which is his family real estate business. Mr. de Souza is also the founder and director at Schemata CAD and Printing OPC Private Limited, based in Mapsa, Goa, which offers services in product design, prototyping, and additive manufacturing and high-resolution 3D printing. The enterprise is currently serving industrial, shipbuilding, automotive, mechanical, and medical sectors. I also welcome Ms. Royaliza Moraes, who is the Business Development Manager at Schemata Enterprise. Ms. Moraes will also share her expertise on converting prototype with us. Mr. de Souza had conducted a workshop on 3D printing at Dempe College in the month of March, in which the various aspects of computer-aided design and 3D printing were demonstrated. We welcome you, sir. Now, without wasting much time, I request Mr. Carl de Souza to kindly take over the session. Thank you, sir.
Very good morning to all of you, and thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. It's a nice day, a bright day, and I am really glad to see such a big audience. I mean, the number is pretty healthy, and it is nice to, it is very nice to present a topic which we have been dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Nevertheless, requires a lot of awareness, requires a lot of consciousness. It is happening, the speciality of this topic is that it is happening all around us, but yet many of us are not very aware of this. So welcome to you from my end to this session on prototype validation and converting prototypes. So if I may begin. Before I begin, I would like to tell you that this is going to be a rather short presentation. I have divided this presentation into explaining the basis of a prototype, why prototype validation is important, and day-to-day applications which we have seen. Now, a small disclaimer in the beginning would be that since I'm from the technical background, I'm an engineer. I work on mostly, I'm not very choosy, but I generally work on technical projects, I may be inclined to share examples which are from my field, but I will do my, and I will do my best to share examples from in general, so that it is of help to everybody who is in this presentation. So I will do the presentation, and then we can discuss on any questions or any comments from any of the viewers. Okay, so let me start with the presentation. Yes. Before we start, can anyone confirm that they can see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen. Yeah, the presentation can be seen. You can continue.
Yes. Thank you very much. So today's, let's start with the first topic, that is prototype validation. Now, before we get into, there are a lot of examples, and before we get into the examples and the whole explanation, let's get known to a few dictionary meanings. I have simplified this to make it as practical as possible. I'm not too much into theory, but I try to, relate whichever topic in hand and make it as practical as possible. So let's just walk through a few dictionary meanings of related to prototype validation. Now, first, design. What is design? Design is a way in which something is planned and made. Now, design can be used in different contexts. Design can be like, like an adjective also, like that design is good, or that design is bad, or that design is interesting, or that design is boring. So design, the word design is a very broad term, but with regards to the topic which we are dealing with today, design is a way in which something is planned and made, because we are dealing with the making of a thing. Prototyping is a part of making of a thing. So in this context, this is the definition of design. Next, what is product design? Now, product, why do we say product design? If you've seen the latest trends, like, 3-4 years back, 2017, there was this whole transition in the market, which was called GST, Goods and Service Tax. It meant to replace a number of taxes. There was number of taxes in the market. I'm sorry for getting into the taxation thing, but I'm just speaking for reference. But there were a number of taxation in the market, and they had different names. But it just went to goods and service tax, and it covered it all. Why? Because the market comprises of either sale of goods or sale of services. Like, goods would be any of the products, any of your groceries available on a regular day. Goods would be any of the groceries which you buy. Services would be your school or your college, which is providing you education. So everything in the market is comprised of goods and services. So product design is a process of creating or improving a product by learning what consumers want and examining similar products that are already available. Okay, So those were the two definitions. What is design and what is product design? You should be able to figure out the difference between the two. Design is a general term. Product design is a specific term to a product or a service. Now, when we go to the next step is, the ideology behind product design. There used to be, there is a systematic and there is a non-systematic way to approach the whole topic of product design. Now, you must have seen through during the last lockdown. Let's go into practical examples again. During the lockdown, there were people who were working from home for their companies. Some people were, business owners, or some people were freelance, workers. And at that point of time, their businesses or anything was not running because the state was and the country was under complete lockdown. And people started doing, home related activities. Some people went into baking, some people went into craft, and so on and so forth, and they were selling. And those things, some things really clicked, some things really went very, very, very well. There was a good demand. They ended up making a lot of money. Then you have examples of some people who had surplus of material with them, and there was no demand, and they went on a rampage, going out on the road or going out, actually physically going out and selling and getting caught or getting penalized for it. So you had two cases, if everybody may realize, during the last lockdown. So the general, the general systematic professional approach towards design is a problem and solution approach. Now, you say that you you want to create a particular product. It will be which is from your field of expertise or your field of interest. Now, how do you do it? How do you approach it? First is, you should always identify the problem or the deficiency of that particular product in the market. You should always know that. Then you formulate a design for the product or the service, and then test the design. Now, this is a very broad, it's a very broad thing. So it is just summarized into 3 points, but it is a very broad thing, and prototyping just forms the third part of it. Now, unless you know unless you know what is the problem, or unless you know what is the deficiency, your product prima facie will never be successful. There has to be a demand for what you are trying to sell. So you have to identify. Next is that you have to design it. One big suggestion on the design is that you must be very passionate. Like ma'am introduced us as real estate developers. We are no longer, it was my family business and I'm no longer part of that. But as a simple example, see, we are very passionate. We used to build a lot of small structures, villas and all. But it is not good that we only design the thing. Yes, it is our vision. Yes, we want to build a villa. Yes, we want to build a 3-bedroom villa and sell to a customer. Yes, we want it white, and yes, we want it to have marble. But to put all that together, you need people, or you need a team of people from the relevant field to be a part of the whole design process. So that is very that is also very important in the problem solution approach. And next is test. Is create plans, create physical models, create renderings. Renderings are they create like short films, they create walkthroughs. The architects do that these days, so that you get a visual, or your customer gets a visual feel of how the house is going to look like. So all this, in the first place, if there was no demand, if the market is too low, nobody is buying any property and nobody is buying a house, uh, it is impractical to just start and put money. So it all goes step by step. So this, in short, it is the same with. I'll give you two examples, which if you can see these pictures, number one is Amazon or Flipkart. Flipkart was the first to come to India. So Flipkart worked on the same problem solution approach. Now, if you consider this typical solution in situation in Goa, in the past, I know myself, we used to either travel to Belgaum or we used to travel to Mumbai to do our shopping. Now, when we used to go to Belgaum, is to be very comprehensive. Mumbai was a little specific that, okay, we want to buy this, 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 we would buy it. In Belgaum, we used to buy the shopping used to be very comprehensive because we used to buy. I'm sure there will be many other people who share the same thought. But we used to buy a number of products. It could be general purpose products also. We used to also, visit uh, shopping complexes like Big Bazaar at that time, which never existed in Goa. Its simple reason is that the choice was more, there were better deals, and it was it was uh, very easy because everything was under one roof. It was very convenient. So you would go there in the morning, do all your shopping, stay for the night, or come back in the evening. And everything for a long period of time, it would be taken care of. But the trouble was to go all the way, travel and come back and make your mind to do that. So that was the problem which Flipkart addressed. What is Flipkart? It is nothing but just a platform that you as a seller can put your products on a shelf, that is a virtual shelf, and on the other hand, me as a customer can select the product and order it from anywhere in the country, getting the same deals sitting in Goa, sitting at home. So that is what change a platform like Flipkart made. So the problem was availability and the problem was pricing. And Flipkart addressed these two problems. Now, secondly is, now since we are all related to Dempe College, so you all must be familiar with Panjim and around Panjim. So this was another example, very familiar example is Atal Setu. Now, Atal Setu, initially, the what was Atal Setu? What was the problem? It was in a single word, it was congestion. Now, that was the single problem, congestion. Now, how they sorted out the congestion is that they figured out how to, that I'll elaborate later, but they just did a simple thing. They bifurcated, or they separated the traffic which was getting in and out of Panjim with the traffic that was to bypass Panjim. So what happens is that because of this, the traffic did not clash and there was no congestion. So that is another example of a problem and solution technique. Now, many of us will think that how did they test the design? Can you just build a bridge and test it? No, it is a great structure. It is a mega structure. it cannot be built and tested, or you cannot build a prototype. You cannot just build a small model and tell 5 cars to go on top of it. No, that's not possible for a project as big as this. So what they did, I remember many years back, there were people standing with counters on all the bridges, either sides of the bridge. In every car or every bike that would pass, they would click the counter. Accordingly, they conducted a study of how many people are traveling on the bridge for peak hours, for non-peak hours, how many people are entering Panjim, how many people are going outwards to Panjim, either to Marga or to Mapsa. So that is how they tested. So unless they would know that people are really, that this concept is really required, that is how they would not invest money in such a big project. So they first figured out whether really by bifurcating the traffic we would solve the problem. If we would solve the problem, to what extent it would get solved. Supposing 90% people were traveling to Panjim and just 10% people are traveling outside Panjim, then the whole bridge would be redundant. Redundant means it would lose its purpose, because only you're catering to only 10% of the people. So you're not solving the problem. So that is the whole approach. It's a good approach. It's a professional approach. It's a very systematic approach, and it is what is required today. So what is prototyping? Prototyping is the functional process for developing a new product to physical representation of an idea. Now, prototyping comes into the picture when you already have an idea, when you have thought on the idea, and you are setting that idea to motion. Now, in the example of Atal Setu, they put the idea into motion with the use of data. They collected data and then created statistics with that data, and they put it into motion. Now, this can be in different ways. I'll elaborate on a number of examples, but it can be basically it is by drawings. Now drawings is the most basic form of design, so you need to go to a different level. You need to go to a more realistic, a virtual or a physical level. That will be through a CAD file or a material or a model, a physical model. So that is, and in other words, prototyping is a problem solving technique. Now, people often use the pessimistic approach towards prototyping, which is not a wrong thing, because more than accepting your design, you should be in a position to reject your design. To more than just accepting what is good in the thing in your design, you should always learn to understand what are the bad points, and you should be able to either rectify those points or completely discard your design. Otherwise, the more further you go, the more trouble you're getting into. So prototyping is a functional process. Now let's deal with the types of prototypes. Now, being into the whole 3D printing, the whole CAD business, there's this company called Mandovi Dry Docks, which makes ferry boats. So for the Department of River Navigation, they had built a boat, and it is currently plying. Now they wanted a model of it. So if you see the model in the picture, this is a 3D printed model of a boat. So this is an example of a physical model. Now, if we go back, you must have seen children in school, they work with modeling clay. That is that is the most viable, 3D printing is a little far off, but modeling clay is the most viable, trust me, it's the most viable form of prototyping. As of today, even big car companies compulsorily use modeling clay. After using modeling clay to do their to prepare their design, to show their design, and to modify their design to small extents, then they prepare computer models and then they 3D print it. And there is also, like, you must have seen models of buildings, architectural models, which are placed on the table. So these are examples of physical models of prototype. So this gives you a scaled kind of outlook or scale type of view of how your model, how your product is going to look like. The next is a wireframe. Now, wireframe is mostly used in the IT sector. Wireframe is like, you approach, like when we wanted a website for a company, we approached a website developer and they created a wireframe. It is like, with minimum effort, they give you like an outline of how your process is going to look like. Or say simple, going back to Flipkart, your flow diagram, like simple. The flow diagram would be the customer checks first the supplier puts a product on the Flipkart website. Next is that the customer sees the product. Next is the customer orders for the product. Next is the product is shipped from the vendor to the customer, and then the customer receives the product. And the customer assesses the product for satisfaction and either accepts or returns it. So that is an example of a wireframe. So it is a process plan. Next is role play to virtual or AR. Now, uh, these are used in architectural design. This is used in electronics. You must have seen that people have in many places they give you these 3D goggles, not 3D goggles. They're called AR. That apparatus which gives you a complete virtual. When you wear it, you feel as though you are inside that particular uh, virtual presentation. Basically, it means, what it means is that if the architect has designed a room and that room is virtually using AR, it is displayed to you. You feel wearing those glasses. They're like big goggles. When you wear them, you feel as though all around you that particular room is. And when you turn, that room also turns, your direction of view also turns. So you feel that you are inside that place. You can assess, you can see what is proper, what is wrong. You can get a feel of it. Not a physical feel, but a virtual feel. Like, how they say seeing is believing. So again, the whole prototyping industry works on seeing is believing only. And next is presentation of a electronic product. Like many companies do this, they present a product. They tell you this. It will have this functionality. It will have that functionality, and they invite investors. So this is before the whole design process, the whole final design process and the implementation process, where the maximum chunk of the investment goes. So before that, they invite investors. This These are more towards the virtual part. Now we have something called live data prototypes. Now, there is very little implementation created by a developer, and this type of prototype has access to real data and from real live traffic. Next is that it hasn't been productized. Means, first of all, is that if you go back to the Atal Setu example, this whole prototyping process was by merely keeping people on either sides of a bridge and calculating the number of, counting the number of cars or the two-wheelers uh, moving, crossing the bridge and where they are going. So there was little to no implementation of what the actual project was. And it was from live data. Now over here traffic means traffic, the cars, but generally traffic could also be data. You know, when you're testing a website, traffic could also be the number of people visiting you. Like even when Reliance Jio launched, before they could launch their product, they gave free SIM cards to many people. Many of my friends were using a Jio SIM free of cost. They had data and they had calls free of cost. They just wanted to know how many people were ready to use in Goa, how many people were using it, how many people were using data. So it was like a testing phase for them. But in their case, it was a little different. They had already invested in the whole network, but not completely. So the network was still limited. And it was not a product. So there was no costing, there was nothing. You could not go and buy it. It was given to you. Okay, so this is an example of a live data prototype. Now we have working models. Now these are components which we have designed and we have 3D printed. These are not, the pen was not designed by us, but the pen is an example. Now this particular manufacturer has designed a pen. Now for him, for the manufacturer, for that company to put the pen into production, they would have to make dies costing lakhs of rupees. Now, once you make dies of lakhs of rupees, or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, then you can put that pen into production. But what if that die is not successful? Means, what if that after manufacturing the first product, you realize that there is a mistake? Physically, there is a mistake, which then some mistakes are only, you can realize them only when you reach the final stage. So what if that there is that mistake? Your full die of 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs has to be discarded. So what you do is that we 3D print it right from the CAD file. We 3D print it. The customer spends 500 rupees to make this prototype and sees whether there is any issue with the product. Accordingly, they either make any changes in the product or they think that it is successful, it is perfect. They go ahead with making the dies and producing it. Again, going to electronic assemblies, if you can see this is an electronic component. These are two parts of an electronic component. So the same case, and so also with jewelry. Now, if you just you can actually make this prototyping, gives you the freedom to, is an initiative. I won't say 3D printing gives you the freedom, but prototyping is an initiative for you to manufacture the ring in a particular material, maybe plastic, wear the ring, see how it feels, and then go for further manufacturing of it. So this is how this is the whole prototyping is more of a of a way of life for a designer. Now we have also we have come we can we have various types of prototypes. I'll give you just two more examples. You don't need to go to such a big extent to talk about prototypes. I'll give you simple examples. Number one is modeling clay. Modeling clay is used for products. Another thing is that, you know, another form of a prototype would be like, supposing you have a particular, supposing the public has a particular requirement. So you will actually conceptualize that requirement. You will create a particular service requirement. Like say you are a newspaper vendor, or say you are a manufacturer of a particular chemical. You would have the freedom, means you would create that concept. You would invite a few people from the neighborhood, or a few people from the industry, and ask them whether, some companies are not ready to share it straightforward, but some companies want to ask that, will there be, supposing we come up with this particular design, what will happen? Is the market excited about it? Is the market just okay, so about it? Will the market consider it as non-useful? So that is an example of, you know a a prototype. Even the survey is a data prototype basically. It is it it is a pre-product survey. What I mean is that it will give you an idea of how many people are interested in that particular product or interested in that particular service. So it can be across any field. It is just a generalized term, but getting back to what I said, since I am from this particular field, I am thinking of these examples. Now, a simpler example, say, the the college wants to start uh, a particular uh, a particular co-curricular activity. And that co-curricular activity involves a lot of cost. Now, how would you justify to that cost? I mean, would you just take the whole 100% risk, and based on your personal emotion, you would say that that this will be in great demand? No, you would ask a group of other faculty members and see whether, they agree to uh, that particular product. Then you would ask a number of students, because ultimately the students will be using. You would say you would gather a group of, say, 15 students out of the hundreds of students which are there in the college, and you would see how many students are interested. And see, only one or two are greatly interested. For 13 of them, it is like, indifferent whether it is there or whether it is not there. It is okay. So you would reject an idea like that, because you know that you would come to know, rather, that at a later stage it will not work. So prototype validation is the end, where you accept it or where you reject it. Uh, why prototype validation is important is, we'll deal with it later, but prototype validation is basically testing of a concept, and is a hypothetical solution to a problem. Now, it forms an important part. Today, it is a compulsory part of product design, and it is to do with acceptance of design or elimination of design. Now, there is something called different designs or different iterations. Now, an example of different designs is that, say you're a chemical manufacturer. You have three different chemicals. uh, you want to manufacture an additive to a particular existing solvent. Like you want to manufacture an additive to a paint, so that when that additive is mixed with the paint and the customer uses it, it it gives more gloss. So then you have another product where you design another glossing agent, but it is of a completely different completely different chemical structure. So these are two products. So this is called acceptance of design. So acceptance of design is when you have two different designs. And there is acceptance of iteration. Acceptance of iteration means, supposing your design is okay, but there is some partial failure of it. That the gloss is not so much, or the gloss is too much, and it is not looking good at all. So you modify your existing design. You modify your whole compound so that it meets your requirement. So that is acceptance of an iteration. But what is very important is elimination of a design or of an iteration. So you should, apart from being optimistic of your own design, see, you're a designer, you're a visionary, you will definitely be optimistic, but you should also be pessimistic. And you should be also in a position to reject. So this is very important. Why is prototype validation important? A few points which I have enlisted is that elimination of a bad and impractical design, which is nothing but saves time and cost. Because if you work on the wrong design, you would waste time, you would waste cost. And look at the good part of it. If you had rejected a wrong design firstly, you would not incur that cost, you would not incur that time. On the contrary, you would move to another design, on another iteration, which would actually be successful. So by proceeding in a bad direction, you have wasted your time, you have limited your possibilities of making, and you have limited your possibilities of making a viable product. So then there is acceptance of a correct design, iteration or variation. So you can test if you have three iterations of the same design, means three of your same design with minor changes. So you can accept which is the most viable iteration. So the spirit of prototyping involves teamwork and collaboration, and the prototype becomes a focal point. So what happens is that when you create a flow chart of a particular process, or when you create a clay model of a particular product, you invite other members. You may invite friends, you may invite professionals, and it becomes a discussion. So it becomes a healthy environment in which the product is developed. So there is less chance of failure. See, you should not be scared of failure, but again, you should be able to deal with it. The result of prototyping is smarter design of products and services. Another another result of prototype validation is more functional and practical products. See, what happens is that at the prototyping stage, suddenly you will arrive at more possibilities, that your product has more features or your service can have more features. Now, in the whole Flipkart thing, that thing of returns could have been a later thought, that oh, so there will be some people who will be not happy with the product because of any because of any issue. So there has to be another function of returning the product. The better marketing also. Your company knows what your product being, they will be able to start the foundation of marketing, which is very important. It is not good enough that you do a good job. World also should know that you are doing a good job. Otherwise, the world will not know, the market will not know, and you will be with your great product. Okay, so higher chances of success and reduced chances of redundancy. Redundancy is a concept that you make something, or you create a service, or you create um, a particular product, and it loses its whole importance. Like a simple example, I'm not criticizing. A simple example is that long time back, again going to Jio, long time back, the government had come up with a scheme wherein a student would get a mobile connection with so much MB of data and so many calls, which was to be used um, for academic purposes. Now, as soon as they launched the scheme, the Jio came into the picture, and at least for 1 year, they gave this scheme was also meant for 1 year only. Jio had give the people free SIM cards for 1 year. So ultimately, the whole government scheme became redundant because it lost its purpose. Over there, only students were getting a free SIM. Over here, everybody whoever applied and whoever got a chance to get a free SIM card were getting a SIM card. So that is an example of redundancy. And ultimately, as I said earlier, prototype validation is a more professional and systematic approach towards product design. Whatever we are doing it, we have to always, we have to always be systematic in how we deal with things. So I will take a break now, and my associate will present a few thoughts. Now, these I can repeat this later, but these are my contact details. If anyone wants to contact me for any further information with regards to whatever I presented, and apart from that, I am happy to help. Now, you guys can y'all can note down my number and my email ID, and y'all can email me or call me whenever required. So I'll get back to you all in a few minutes, and thank you for listening so far, and it was a pleasure presenting towards you. One second.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. You can continue.
Okay. So, my topic for today is converting a prototype. So, I just want to make this an interactive session more than me speaking. So, what is converting prototype? Prototyping is the conversation you have with your ideas. So, is there anyone over here who would like to interpret what the sentence means? Okay, so I'll only say what it means. So prototyping is the conversation you have with your ideas. It basically means that, your ideas need to be depicted through something physical. Like, it's not an emotion. So it has to be depicted through something. So you have something physical that you show a person, like human behavior can be depicted through the body language. The same way that an idea, it is depicted through prototyping. So is prototyping the way to go, and why use it? The easy answer is it is to gather feedback. So basically, we all have come across this pandemic, and it's been a long time. It's 2 years. So with the pandemic, what did the world learn? Basically, this technology has gone more viable with the pandemic, because when we first started, we saw that we required masks. The WHO was insisting on masks, and later they said that they require face shields. So going back to history, when this technology was introduced, basically, so what had happened was at that time, just fast forwarding a bit. So what had happened was when the WHO requested everyone, wear masks, the frontliners are getting affected. So then they said, come up with face shields. So people then drew a design and then they prototyped. And before it could go into mass manufacturing, we also at Schematter, we produced quite a large number of face shields, and we supplied it to all the frontline workers, because we didn't want them to get affected. We wanted them to serve. So the basic idea is that anything that you want to, and human nature, human tendencies, basically you go upwards. So you develop with time, you evolve, you go to the next stage. So you need technology for that, and this technology is exactly taking us there. We are getting more innovative. We have AI coming, we have different other things coming up. But so to depict an idea, because an idea can, you can never express it in terms of emotion. It needs to be expressed in terms of visual. You understand it better, you can have better discussions, you can have better collaborations, you can have n number of things. You can test the product, you can try the product, you can use the product as an end use product as well, in a whole. So basically, right from a small pen to anything bigger, you need to show how it looks like. You need to envision, you need to kind of understand, and it needs to go through different phases of testing. So that is why you have this quote, basically. Then next thing is, a prototype is a sample implementation of the system. So these are basically the steps. Before going to the steps, I would also like to say that there are 4 types of prototype. That is rapid, evolutionary, incremental, and extreme types of prototyping. So basically what happens is that, I'd like to give one example, is that since y'all could probably relate to it better, we have capsules. So what happens is that the pharmaceutical industry for medicines, like, they had come up with this thing 2 years back, where they introduced a capsule. They 3D printed a capsule, and they put the compositions. They segregated a capsule into 3 compartments, and they put those drugs so that it could go in your mouth and it could melt at different stages. But initially, what did they do? They prototyped it and they tested it. And now they have those biomedical, kind of printers which are printing these kind of capsules which could directly be, consumed. Then another thing is, we all live under a roof, a shelter. 3D printing is a huge industry in this. They have, L&T has come up with a project, a very small project in Chennai, where they've built a apartment. Basically, they're trying and testing. But this technology first came into play in Dubai, where they started, building a lot of buildings. So basically, they have, after the prototype stage, they next developed it, then they refined it, they demonstrated, they've tested, and they finally implemented the product. So this is like very, example which I think you all can relate to and connect to very easily. So yeah, that's it. If you all have any questions.
So coming back, I hope you'll like the presentation. But before I get into the question and answer session, I always tell this to my audience, and that is like, please accept my thing with my presentation with a pinch of salt. And the pinch of salt is very simple. That just because I am presenting from my field, please don't think that this is not valid in your field. It is valid across all fields, and implement it anywhere and everywhere. So thank you very much. And we may go ahead with the question and answer session.
Thank you, sir and madam. I request the audience to kindly ask questions. You can unmute the mic or post the questions in the chat box. We can have some questions from the students. There are many students present on the meet here. Do make an attempt to ask questions. So has given a very nice and a very simple presentation on prototypes and prototype validation.
Okay, so I from Roshan and said that what facilities are available for prototyping in your company.
Yeah.
The facilities that are there in our company are limited to making a physical product. So we have something called 3D printing. Now 3D printing can give you a physical product. It can, like, see, supposing you have a design. Say, supposing you have designed, I have shown this in your college also. This is supposing this was intended to be a product. Now, you have designed it, and before putting it into manufacturing, you create a working model of it. Like how I earlier said, working model. This is, we can provide you a facility to create this type of prototype. Another example is this. I have also shown this ring. Okay, you can wear it. It helps you wear it and see, how good it is. So yeah, definitely the wrong thing for me to wear, but these are a few examples of what we can do as a company. Whereas prototyping is otherwise a general, very broad concept. It can be done in different ways in different fields. Yeah, anything else?
Any more questions? You can post the question in the chat box. We will read it for you, and sir will try to answer to your questions. Even faculty members can post the questions in the chat box. I will read it. So I will propose the vote of thanks. Still, you can post questions. Sir will answer them later. On behalf of the institution's Innovation Council of Dempe College, I would like to offer my sincere gratitude to the guest speaker for the webinar, Mr. Carl D'Souza, for sharing his expertise knowledge on prototype validation. Sir, your presentation has given an excellent coverage to the theme on prototyping, and the concepts of process design, problem solving, and prototype models are very clear to the audience. I also thank Ms. Royaliza Moraes for sharing her ideas on converting prototype and discussing the various stages in prototyping. I thank the principal of Dempe College, Professor Vrunda Borkar, for her constant support and encouragement in organizing the various IIC activities. I thank the organizing secretary for the webinar, Dr. Preeti Pandit, and the IIC team of the college who have directly or indirectly contributed in organizing this webinar. Lastly, and most important, I would like to thank the faculty members and students for having been present for this session and making this webinar successful. Thank you very much. The feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Do fill the feedback form, okay, and the certificate will be sent to your mail address. Thank you very much.
Since some of you all are still online, you all can still ask for any queries. I just wanted to share a small experience of mine. That was, it just came up as a thought. I wanted to share it with you all. And the thing is that I remembered my 12th standard days, 11th, 12th standard days. Like we used to have these chemistry practicals, and in that there used to be a preliminary test and there used to be a CT, confirmatory test. So the preliminary test would indicate what your anion or cation is, and then you would have to do the confirmatory test. Some students to directly start doing the CT, thinking that it is a shortcut, and then they used to get stuck because they used to waste a lot of time, you know, and ultimately they used to do all the CTs, and sometimes they used to not get any success. So the CT is your product, you know, because it is, you end at the CT, you give the thing to your examiner and you're done with it. But the preliminary test is something which indicated you to what actually is your anion or your cation. So that is your prototype, basically, your initial test, which give you an idea of it. So as I'm saying, it's there across all the fields. You should just apply it accordingly. It's just a way of life.
Thank you, sir. You have shared a very nice experience, which many of our students also experience during the course of practicals. Okay, the semi-micro analysis is also continued at the BSc level. At second year BSc, we have practicals on analysis of mixture of radicals. That time we also come across such experiences. And prototyping can also be applied in the science field of practicals.